That's why 99% of Americans are broke. Now, the reason I say this is because for your generation, this could be the biggest opportunity you'll ever see. I'm not making any commissions on this stuff.
Yeah, of course.
In school, they compensate for risk by telling you to memorize the right answer. So in other words, these kids leave, young people like you, leave school thinking, oh, if I know the right answers, then there's no risk. And it drives old guys like me crazy. Because everybody's talking about millennials. What's wrong with them? You know, millennials are the most highly, in many ways, the most highly educated generation in history. They have the cell phone. They didn't get educated in school. They got educated on social media, on the cell phones. They know all the answers, but they're afraid of doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest complaint about my generation is millennials know all the answers, but they can't do anything. And the reason they can't do anything is because you might hurt somebody's feelings, you might make a mistake, you know, and that just keeps you guys just trapped in this little box here.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I think millennial money is such an important point here, because if you're going to come into my world, old guy's world, or the information age, you've really got to understand what is risky and what is not risky. And in my world, if you play it safe, that makes you stupid. You know, I know most millennials, they want a high-paying job. They want to be able to pay the rent, and eat, and all this stuff, because their heads are on the wrong spot. So when I asked Kim if she would take an accounting course, it was just 2 days. You know, I wanted to see if her head could get into the asset column. There's 3 kinds of money today that you guys got to be aware of. One is God's money, and God's money is gold and silver. So this is silver, and this is gold. The reason I brought it is most people don't know what it looks like. And then there's government money, which is fiat currency, which is the dollar, the yen, the peso, the euro, the yuan. Fake. And everybody's working hard for it. It's like eating fake food or drinking fake water. That's why people are getting sick financially, because they're working for fake money. Okay. And then there's fake assets, which was another part of the fake millennial, the fake generation series. But the reason I brought this here is most people haven't seen it. This here is real silver, plata. Okay. That's what it looks like. And so in 1972, and this here is gold. This is God's money. This is what God's money looks like. The reason I call it God's money is you can't fake it. You know, you can fake it with a fake ETF, like a gold ETF or a silver, which I don't touch because it smells as bad as the guys that printed that crap. You know what I mean? Jesus. But this is real money. So you look at this here. When I first started buying that, that was $1.40. Today, that's $16. And this here is oro, gold. And the reason we brought it in is most people haven't seen or touched. This is real. This is God's money. Why did I say it's God's money? Because it was here when the earth was created. And it'll be here when we're all dead and gone. When you're saving those fake dollars, this will still be here. Or those fake ETFs or those fake stocks. So this here is called the green box. There's 500 of these little tubes like this. 500 coins in here. And this is one. Which is worth more?
Which one's worth more? The gold.
Yeah, this is worth more than all that. But if you look at what happened with the fake central bank, see, the purpose of the central bank or the Fed or all, you know, the Japanese bank, the Bank of Japan, or the European Central Bank, they pump out fake money. The purpose of central banks like the Fed is to protect the banks, not you. There's lots of education. There's sex education, music education, physical education, stuff like that. But to be successful in the world of business, there's 3 basic types of education you must have. One, academic education. That's reading, writing, arithmetic. I didn't do very well here. You know, it's very important. I'm not saying it's not important, it's extremely important. So academic is very important. Second is professional, where they become a doctor, a lawyer, secretary. In my case, I had two professions. My first profession was a sailor. I was a third mate on board oil tankers. Again, it was a good profession. And the second profession was as a pilot, and most of my friends went on to become airline pilots. I just didn't want to fly anymore. And the third is financial education. And what we'll be covering is this. As a young boy, I realized that I could beat my friends over here if I understood this. In other words, I can make a lot more money here than these guys here. The beauty of the world today is that, like when I went to work for Standard Oil of California, I got paid by the month. And if I was a pilot flying for the airlines, I got paid by the month. And when I worked on straight commissions with Xerox, I got, basically commissions. But I realized from my rich dad talking to me, that if I understood financially, I could make money 24/7 without working. That was the difference. The basics of financial education begins with this, with literacy, is it begins with an income statement and a balance sheet. This is the fundamental if you're going to be, and if you look over here, after mission, it's cash flow. This is basically accounting, CFOs, auditing departments. So as a young boy, that's when my rich dad started me on this. He says, if you can manage this, you'll always be a rich man, no matter what happens to you. This form is called an income statement. In America, this is called a balance sheet. There's a third form. It's called a statement of cash flow. Okay? So when you look at this here is the real game board from my cash flow game. This is income. This income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flow. Okay, so the game is teaching you as a kid's version, intermediate version, advanced version. It's teaching you while you're having fun. So the other mistake that people make is that what they do is because they think their house is an asset, so they go and buy a big house because it appreciates, but what they have is a mortgage. And a mortgage stands for death, mort here, dead. It kills you. I'm not against mortgages. So they buy a big house, and especially here in Auckland, they have the big boat, Then they have the BMW and the Lexus, stuff like this. And so this is the cash. They have a job, money comes in, cash flows out. Okay? I call this financial diarrhea. They cannot stop. It flows out constantly.